Hey guys, welcome back to another great game of CEDH. We're keeping it strong with another awesome game I played in Chicago. And man, I love seeing all these new flash enablers we're getting. There's nothing sweeter than the ability to just win over top of your opponents. But starting us off is Hidden on Elsha the Infinite. This is a classic Jeskai commander aiming to use your commander's ability to gain advantage by slinging spells off the top and aiming for a cost reducer plus Sensei's Divining Top. Next up is Spencer on Zurgo and Ojutai. This Jeskai commander has all the good spell slinging options while also hedging into big powerful dragons that let you pressure your opponents while gaining card advantage from connecting. In the third spot is Devin on Malcolm Vial. Grixis Pirates is all about them combos, with the ever powerful Glinthorn, Thassa's, or Pirate Shenanigans with Mayhem Devil. This deck is always a threat. And bringing up the rear is Jeff on Orvar. Mono blue control, aiming to use Orvar's ability to duplicate your permanents to gain advantage and drown your opponents in late game value.
Alright, block there, kill that. Oh, that is trample. Guess I'm just dead on board.
Hidden starts off the game with a plateau into an Esper Sentinel. Spencer has a City of Brass, taking one to also cast an Esper Sentinel. Devin plays out a command tower as land for turn, and casts a Mox Diamond. He pays for Devin's Esper, but gives a card to Hidden, as Devin then discards an Arid Mesa, and ends his turn with a Siren Stormtamer. Jeff has an Urza Saga as land for turn, but passes it there. Hidden plays and cracks a Scalding Tarn for Volcanic Island, shortcutting as he casts a Talisman of Progress. Spencer draws, with Hidden then tapping the Talisman for a Mystic Remora. Spencer has a Polluted Delta as land and takes one as he casts a Mana Vault, with Hidden drawing 2 cards. Devin plays out an Underground Seat and taps out for Malcolm. The commander resolves as he then turns his Siren Stormtamer at Hidden for 1, making a treasure as the pirate connects. Jeff draws and upticks his Saga, playing out an island and passing there. Hidden untaps and pays for fish. He'll play out a Mana Confluence as land for turn, and then cast a Mox Diamond of his own. Hidden does pay the 1, and discards a Meticulous Archives. Tapping 2 to cast a Pentad Prism with 2 counters. With Spencer at end step, cracking his Delta for Meticulous Archives, surveilling the card to stay on top. Spencer then draws the kept card as he plays out an Otawaro as land return, tapping his Vault to help pay for a Scale Lord Reckoner. Devin has a Volcanic Island and for 2 casts a Kedis, who resolves as he then follows it up with a Professional Facebreaker, who also resolves as Devin then heads to combat. He'll send the Stormtamer at Hidden and Malcolm at Jeff, but before combat damage, Hidden will swords Malcolm. Spencer will draw off the Esper, with Malcolm getting exiled and gaining Devin 2 life. Damage then goes through as Hidden takes 1, and Devin makes 1 treasure. Jeff then draws for turn and floats a mana off his Saga before sacrificing it, and grabbing out a Soul Ring. With him then tapping 4 to cast his commander Orvar. He'll then play out an island and tap it for a Trait Doctoring, targeting his Soul Ring. This will put an Orvar trigger on the stack, along with a Mystic Remora and 2 Esper triggers as well. Everyone draws as Orvar then makes himself a copy of his Soul Ring, with Hidden then paying 2 life to Mental Misstep the spell to prevent it from ciphering onto Orvar, giving 1 more card to Spencer as well. Hidden untaps and continues to pay for his fish, as he then shocks in a Steam Vents. He then follows it up by casting his commander, Elsha, who resolves as Hidden then looks at the top, but passes it there. Spencer then takes 1 off his vault and has Volcanic Island as land for turn, taking another as he casts a Monologue Tax, paying for the Esper, but not the fish. Although in response to the Remora draw, Hidden then removes the last counter off his Prism to cast an Enlightened Tutor. Spencer draws as Hidden then finds a Mox Opal to put on top, casting the Mox and drawing off the fish. But still in response, Hidden will then pay 2 life to Git Probe to look at Spencer's hand, who has a bit of counter magic and a silence, which Hidden knows he'll need to be wary of. Hidden then draws off the probe and the monologue tax resolves, with Spencer then discarding Intuition due to hand size that Hidden had let the table know about from the Git probe. Devin has an exotic orchard and pays 5 for his commander Malcolm. He then heads to combat and sends the Siren Stormtamer at Hidden and the Facebreaker at Jeff, making 3 treasures as the creatures connect. With Devin then on his second main casting a Dothy Voidwalker, giving a treasure to Spencer off his monologue tax. Jeff then heads to his turn and plays out a Cephalid Coliseum as land for turn. But with the fishes, espers, and monologue tax out, he decides to just hand over the turn to Hidden, who then untaps and continues to pay for his fish. But before he draws for turn, he flashes in an Artist Talents off the top. He gives a card to Spencer, and then draws and plays out an Arid Mesa as land for turn, cracking the fetch for a Tundra, and then casting a Curse Totem from his hand. Spencer will get a treasure, as Hidden will rummage away a Sink into Stupor. Spencer takes 1 off his tap vault, and plays out a Marsh Flats as land for turn. He then casts a Lotus Petal, drawing Hidden 2 cards. Note for the comment section, yes, Hidden is looking at the top in between these draws. Spencer then cracks the petal and casts his commander Zurgo and Ojutai, with Spencer then moving to combat, sending the Scale Lord at Hidden and Zurgo at Devin. And with no blocks, Spencer gets to anticipate twice, with Spencer choosing not to bounce either dragon, although the double anticipate does make him go over hand size, as he discards an Earthquake and a Mana Drain. Devin then heads to his turn and casts his other commander Vial Smasher. He then heads to combat and sends the Facebreaker at Spencer, Malcolm at Jeff, and the Siren Stormtamer at Hidden. But before damage can happen, Spencer paths Malcolm, removing the commander once again and drawing Hidden 2 more cards. Damage then happens, and Devin is done after that. Jeff then heads to his turn and plays out another island. He then counts his lands and once again just passes with open mana. Hidden untaps and pays 4 to keep his fish alive. He then plays out an Ancient Tomb and levels up his Artist Talent. He then for 1 casts an Arcane Signet. He gives a card to Spencer and then discards a Talon Gate to rummage off his Artist Talent, ending his turn with a Power Balance, and giving a treasure to Spencer and rummaging away a Savines off the talent. Hidden then casts a Tormod's Crypt and discards a Marsh Flats, ending his turn there, with Spencer at end step cracking his fetch for a Scrubland. Spencer untaps and takes 1 from his tap vault. He has a Plateau as land for turn, and for 3 casts a Jeska's Will, targeting Hidden. This triggers the fish, Esper, and Power Balance, with Hidden resolving the Power Balance first, as he reveals an Intuition off the top. Hidden will give a card to Spencer and rummage away a Dranith off the Artist Talent, with Spencer then responding to that with a Flusterstorm. Hidden will draw off the Remora and then offer You Can't Refuse his own Intuition, gaining Spencer a treasure and a Hidden 2 as well, as the stack then starts resolving. Spencer will pay the original 1 for Esper, with Hidden drawing off his fish. But with the will still left on the stack, Hidden cracks a treasure for a Swan Song, rummaging away a City of Brass and countering the spell.
And then Swan Song will counter. You will get a 2/2 bird.
2/2 birdie.
Bird. Bird, 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 bird.
Bird's the word. Bird, bird, bird. Well, that bird's the word.
With Spencer then moving to combat and sending Zurgo at Hidden and the Scale Lord at Devin. There are no blocks, and Spencer once again double anticipates. He then passes, but at his end step, Hidden flashes in a Fellwar Stone, rummaging away a Wooded Foothills, and having Spencer discard a Mystical Tutor due to hand size. Devin untaps and pays 7 for Malcolm. There's a Vial Smasher trigger which bolts Spencer for 3. Malcolm then resolves, and Devin heads to combat, sending Vial at Spencer, the Siren Stormtamer at Hidden, and the Facebreaker at Jeff. There are no blocks, with Devin making 4 treasures and everyone taking 2 due to Cedh, with Devin on his second main casting a fully loaded Lively Dirge. Cue the triggers. Spencer will get a treasure and a draw, with Hidden stacking the Power Balance on top to free cast an Underworld Breach. Spencer will get a draw off his Esper, as Hidden then rummages away a Windswept Heat. The Breach resolves, with the stack heading back to Hidden's Esper and Fish to draw 2. With Hidden still responding to the Dirge by flashing an LED, which will trigger the monologue tax to give Spencer a treasure, with Hidden rummaging away another land, and then letting the Dirge resolve. Devin then finds, bins, and reanimates an Orcish Bowmaster, who on ETB targets Hidden's Esper, to which Hidden deflecting swats the damage back onto the Bowmaster. But that's it for Devin, as he passes, with Hidden at his end step flashing in a Chromox. Hidden will rummage away a Transmute Artifact and then imprint a Thought Lash for the Chromox. Hidden then casts a Soul Partition on the Dothy. Hidden will rummage away a Mystical Tutor and then exile the Dothy for now, with Hidden then casting a Brain Freeze. He'll rummage away a Grim Monolith to draw, but in response, Jeff attempts a Channeled Otawaro on the Breach. But in response to that, Hidden cracks his LED for triple white, discarding his hand, but casting a Silence from his grave. To which Spencer shows the table a mental misstep, with him then paying for both Ristic and Esper. But Hidden can escape his own mental to counter it, with the only response left from the table is Spencer to cast an Angel's Grace. This draws Hidden 2 more cards, and the Angel's Grace resolves. The mental counters mental, and the silence resolves. Hidden then can escape out an Enlightened Tutor for a Sensei's Divining Top to put on top, which he can then cast for free. And while I could bore you with the rest of the turn, I'll give a bit of a Cliff Notes version, as Hidden goes on for another 5 minutes. But with the top, he can then draw through his deck till he finds a Born Upon the Winds. He then can continue to loop Jeska's Will for a lot of mana, the One Ring for protection, and then cast a large Rolling Earthquake to take out both Devin and Jeff, getting rid of the Otawara from the stack, and letting Hidden then mill out Spencer, winning Hidden the game.
Game review. Man, I did not expect to take the game like that. I definitely think it helped that the other 3 members of the pod knew each other, and it felt like they were more strict when it came to keeping themselves in check than it did for me, when I was accruing so much value off my Esper and Fish. And while Underworld Breach didn't look scary at the time, with Dothy out, I was able to sneak it in, and from there, the rest is history. Although apparently if I didn't win, Jeff actually had a win attempt on his turn. Thanks to everyone that joined for the game, and before everyone leaves, I want to thank our special Patreon members, Slyfox and Holy Septic, for the support of the channel, along with all of our other Patreon supporters as well. And remember, never give up, even if you're dead on board. I'll see you guys later.